Welcome back to this channel. This is Unfiltered Forex with me, Clement. And in this video and in this playlist, or rather, series of videos that I'll be releasing, we'll be talking about journaling. Not just talking, but I'll be showing you how I actually journal my trades and how I visualize my progress and try to make adjustments to my system based on my results, right? So and the year is ending. Most people don't trade on December. I also don't trade on December. It's a month where I decide to dedicate it mostly to analysis of my full year progress and make decide on areas to improve on in the coming year. All right, so this is an Excel spreadsheet showing my trading results. All right, this is not exactly my journal. My journal itself, like where I actually record this data live as I trade, or rather before and during and after I take these entries. Journal is actually my Discord, and you can see here there are some threads here where I do post my progress. So yeah, this is where I say if I am getting into a trade, how I think it's going to go, and the outcome, right? Yeah, you can see this is for the New York Stock Exchange indices, mainly Nasdaq and the US 30, because those are the ones I trade. You can see we record when you're getting into the trade at the top of the hour. This was 6:55 p.m. So at 7 p.m. that's when I got in. You can see 7 p.m. This is the timestamp here. I don't know if it's visible. And then you record everything as the trade goes. At this point, I place my stop loss at entry. You can see from this data, from this, or rather from this text message alone, you get the date and the time and even the setup itself, because you can see the setup, and the setup itself gives you a clear picture of what price was doing at that time of day, right? I'll explain this later when I'm talking about my journal itself. So this date factor here is very important, because in some places where I am trying to see if my performance was affected by other market conditions that were present at the time of the trade. That's why, yeah, it's important to have the dates recorded and date and time. Yeah, I'll show you how important that is. So you can see stop loss at entry, and then it continues. Yeah, eventually it hits take profit, and yeah, even when it hit take profit, it was I recorded that this is the final outcome. No, this one, yeah, take profit was hit, and from here you can see a lot of data has been recorded about the trade. Um, I don't exactly record the risk to reward ratio, because I try to keep it constant at between 8 and 10. Yeah, mostly 8. 8 is fine, but 8 to 10, that's okay. Right. So, yeah, back to the spreadsheet. Now, this spreadsheet, you can see it has like 12 columns. These are 12 different pieces of information about every single trade. So, this is gold XAUUSD, month January, date 10, day of the week Wednesday. This is also important to record. Entry time 1600 hours. This is in GMT 24-hour format. No, this is not GMT. This is East African time, EAT 24-hour format. Duration 1. This is how long I was in the trade, because for my system and how my trades work, it's important to take note of how long you are in the trade to avoid holding, okay, or rather to show you if a trade takes too long to hit take profit or too long to hit the stop loss, right? Usually mine, if it's one, it's either 1 hour or below 1 hour. Yeah. Then news events, because my system is mixing fundamental with technical, so I also take into account the news events at the time. So at the time of this trade, there was no news events being released. Premature stop loss. This is a column I added because some of my trades were being taken out prematurely, like we've seen this one. Yeah, this is the one. Like we've seen here, there was a the stop loss was hit prematurely, and then price went to my take profit. So yeah, that's the importance of having this column here. It tells you how, to what extent are the premature stop loss eating into your potential profits. All right, and then there's the best entry time. This is the best entry time depending on if there was an entry either with a smaller drawdown or an entry where the move actually began, an entry time where the move actually began. Because my trading system, as you can see, the entry time is here because I take my entries at the top of the hour, like at the candle close of the hourly candle when the new hour is beginning. That's when I take my entries because that's when most moves start. And then the column for best entry, it tells me at what time did the actual move start. Like, was there a better entry that could have given me a smaller drawdown, or an entry where I could have actually gotten profit if I was taken out prematurely? Like you can see here, the PSL premature stop loss was yes, because the best entry was for 1630 hours, but my entry time was 1600 hours, right? And then the outcome, L is loss, W is win, and then type buy. This is also important to record the order type because later when I am in the, not exactly in the final stages, but when I'm coming to now compile my data and my trading performance in relation to what the market was doing at the time, it's important to see if I was buying during an uptrend or if I was selling during a downtrend or an uptrend, and if that worked out well for me, right? Yeah, and then there's the entry point, which I also record because my trading system mainly involves catching reversals or continuations, not trading consolidations. No, it's either you catch a reversal where price reverse makes a major reversal or a continuation. Like this trade, this is a continuation, right? Because you can see price was already falling from these highs, and I just caught the continuation here because even on the daily, I don't know if it's visible. Yeah, I can see it. I hope you can see it too. Even on the daily intraday price action, you can see this is 1415. So this is one day. Even on the daily price action, price was already falling. So I was trying to catch the continuation here. Let me find somewhere I was trying to catch a reversal. Yeah, this is also a continuation, which as you've seen, it worked out well for me. And then there was a trade up here. Yeah, yeah. This is where I caught a reversal. The reversal started here and I made the entry at that exact point, and how it ended up, yeah, ended up like this. You can see this was a reversal, right? So in this trade, in my journal, this is going to be recorded at entry point was at the day's high, meaning I was trying to catch a reversal or a continuation depending on if I was buying or selling at the day's high. So for example here, entry point, this one, day high sell, it means you are trying to catch a reversal, right? Another one. Hmm. There are not very many continuations here I can see, but that's one important reason why I record the entry point. For you, if you have a different system that works differently. You can have the entry criteria described here, or rather, what do you call it? The entry model described here. Either, I don't know what what you may call them, but some people call them different names, and that's those different names are what I would recommend you also include them in your journal for every trade, because every trade you take, there's a reason why you're taking it, and you have to record that reason. Not exactly like a whole paragraph and line and stuff. No, just record it as the entry model you used for that trade. And yeah, as you can see here, this Excel spreadsheet now is the quantitative data, not the qualitative. The qualitative is in here, yeah, where I can say I can describe exactly what I am doing in my trade, whether I am taking partials or whether I'm setting my stop loss at entry. Like you can see here, stop loss at entry, and also the reason for getting in, or rather any warning you can give yourself in the meantime. Yeah, like you see here, I said I'm exercising extreme caution because price is very likely to rally higher. And you can see at that point I was taken out, my stop loss was very tight. But at the top of the hour, I confirmed that I would be taking the entry again. So this thought process is useful when it's in your journal directly, so that when you review your work, you can see exactly what you did. But when it comes to the spreadsheet here, the quantitative data itself is what's really necessary. And you need to find a way to make sure all the important data about the market at that time, or about your trade at that time, is somehow quantitatively described in the Excel spreadsheet, because this is what's going to be useful when it comes to data modeling and data visualization. All right. So in this series, we'll be doing these three major things: data collection, modeling, and visualization. First, you need to have the data for your trading performance. Like you've seen, I have my data. This is half year performance. All right. If we go and check the my journal, yeah, this part here that says recap 2024. This is where we are. Right. You can see I did some analysis here of my data. I'm going to show you how to do this. So the thing is, yeah, half year performance review. So I first started with sending the Excel spreadsheet of my 2024 trades for the first 6 months, right? And this is the Power BI file presentation dashboard for my performance. This is an image. Yeah, you can see it shows the entry time with the most wins, trade counts, wins, losses, win rates, and yeah. Also, this is the actual dashboard itself. You can see the pages are here. Yeah, yeah, all this I'll show you how to do it. All right, but for now, let's go back here. So while I this spreadsheet is not real time, all right, like you can see, this is my half year performance. I did this in July. On July, this is where I went back to my journal and scrolled back to my January trades and started keying in the major details about my trade onto the Excel file. All right. Yeah. So this is the thing am about to do during this coming week. And by the end of the week, I'll have recorded all my trading data from from July. Yeah, because this is up to June. Some June. Yeah, this is up to June. So I'll start from July, coming all the way to November. And by the time I'm done, I don't think I'll be making any other trades this month. Yeah, the month is even almost ending. This is the last week of November. Yeah. So I'll be keying in the data in the entries here. And something I'd like you to understand here is that the outcome column here, I prefer to record my losses as, or rather, I prefer to record my break even outcomes as losses. For example, here you can see, mhm, is it here? No, it's not here. I don't know if you can find one quickly. Yeah, yeah, I think it's somewhere close by. I don't think I can find it. Oh yeah, I found it. For example, this one, I got into this trade at the daily high. This is a very recent one, US 30, and then it started well. So I placed my stop loss at NG. Yeah, you can see here the text SL at NG for this one. So yeah, once I did that, and it went and somehow managed to reverse, and I was taken out at break even. So at break even, I record that as a loss. Why? Because there is no profit you have gained there. All right. So yeah, it's a loss to me. But depending on how you evaluate your performance, you can decide to record it as specifically as a break even outcome, which this time I think I will try doing to avoid dilution of my performance. All right, because sometimes when you look at my performance like this, you can see that I have so many losses, and the wins are kind of few, and the win rate is 24%. But if you actually take the trades that were actual losses, they are very few. And if you now use the trade count of the actual losses versus the win rate is going to be a bit higher. All right. So, yeah, to prevent dilution, you can decide to record break even outcomes separately, not record not recording them as losses. All right. But the whole reason why you record them as I would record them as a loss, it's because there was no it was not a win. It was not a winning trade. All right. So I try to strike a balance between winning and losing. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for this video. I showed you what I do, and yeah, how I usually record my data. And yeah, let me start. In the next video, I'll have keyed in all my trading data from July up to November, and then I'll now show you the next step from there. All right, have a good day. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure to subscribe if you do, and if you have a question, you can ask in the comments. I'll answer. All right, yeah, that's it.